I love this. This is my snippet roll and woven flowers. So I've made a removable double-sided belly band. DEPHEMEREMBER is an open collaboration, and it's hosted by Barbara from 49 Dragonflies and Louisa Heinzel, and this is the 4th year. If you want to join in the fun, a link to the prompt list is in my video description box. Hi YouTube friends, it's Lee here. Welcome to day 4 of DEPHEMEREMBER, my little DEPHEMEREMBER journal that I made from food boxes. So if you want to see how that's made, there's I've got a playlist, and that video is in that playlist. I think it's called something like Preparing for DEPHEMEREMBER. So have a look and see what you think. See whether you think you can make this. It's really easy, and I love to recycle. So it's made from food packaging, so boxes, and this is an old document file, concertina type document file. Alrighty, so we're on day 4, which is actually the 5th of December. The prompt is snippet roll and woven flowers. So this will be the page that I'm going to be working on. And I was thinking make a snippet roll into make a snippet roll, turn it into a belly band and decorate it with some woven flowers. So when I think woven, apart from a woven basket or something like that, I think of fabrics. So I dug around in my stash and I found a couple of things I'm going to use. So I'm going to use this as the base of my snippet roll, and I'm going to make my snippet roll with my woven flowers on it. So it's not going to be a two thing. So it's not going to be snippet roll and woven flowers. It's going to be a snippet roll made from this jute with the woven flowers, which are my fabric flowers, and they'll be on it. I'll cut that piece and let's see what happens. Yes, we can't overlap, so I did think about folding it over the edge of the page, but then I'll cover up part of yesterday's. So maybe I could go to a different page. Doesn't have to be done in order, I guess. Looking for one that, oh, that's nice. That's from the inside cover, really old music sheet book. So, you know, this is what happens when you decide you've got too many choices. So what I'm thinking is if I go to one of these pages that hasn't been used yet, then I can actually wrap that right around. And now I've just had another thought. What if I made it so it went on and off? It could be pulled on and off. Let me try again. I'm going to cut a piece, double that length, because I can always use this bit for something else. Let's see how this will work. I should have thought about this before I started recording. I know, I don't. You should know that about me by now. I make things up as I go along, in most instances. So if I went like that, and what if I put some sort of closure on that so it can be removed? It can be a snippet roll, because it's got to be fairly sturdy to be or secure to be the snippet roll and to hold things in there. Yeah, so you'll be putting something in there like that. But if I want to take it off, I can undo a closure of some sort and relocate it to another part of the book. That's my my thinking. Okay, so I think that's going to be my snippet roll. So I'm just going to finger crease that. So all these pages are the same height. And there is another thing that I could do to make it sit on the page more securely, and that is to come down like this and stitch along there, so it's got a little bit of an overhang on each one. But that'd have to be done on the machine, I think. Well, I might be able to hand sew that. So let's go up here and do that. So how much overlap have I got? A little bit. Maybe not. Okay, so we'll go back to plan A. But I can always just stitch along there so it's got a tiny little bit. I think that's what I'll do. Okay, so work it out as we go along, Lee. Yes, Lee, that's a good idea. Thanks, Lee. You always come up with good ideas. I know, Lee. Is that the first sign of madness, talking to yourself? Well, I think it might be, Lee. And the second sign is, yes, answering yourself. Is it really, Lee? Yes, it is, Lee. Oh dear. Okay. So if I do that and just leave like a wee little bit. So I'll do one. I'll do one so then I can, by the magic of time travel, I have already a threaded needle. And the reason I have a threaded needle ready is because I didn't want you guys to see me trying to thread a needle, because that's a lot of fun. Not. Okay, so I'm just going to do this. Okay, so I'm going to do this on the other end as well. But before I sew the other end, I'm going to make a little adjustment because I've taken away some of the length by doing this. Okay, so that'll be fine. Let's go in here. Oh, a couple of times, I guess. Come on. Come on. Get off there. Alright. Thank you very much, everybody, for all the lovely comments. Been very nice to see. Is this how you do these things? Is that how you do a French knot? I don't know. I don't know whether it is or not. Oh. No, because it's all just come undone. Okay. I need to go back and watch one of Roxy's Creations videos again. Work out how that's done. I have no idea. Okay, we'll just tie it off on the back. Okay. So what I want to do is put it on, and I need to lengthen this a bit, you know, so that I've got enough room on this end. So we do that there. Okay, I'm going to sew that. I'll come back when I've done it. Stitched it together, and I just need to decide what's going to be the front, what's going to be the back. Excuse me. So I suppose the opening should be the back, shouldn't it? Now I've got to work out an opening for a closure. It's lovely and firm. And for a closure, what am I going to put for a closure? I guess I could just have a tie on there. Have a box of circles. Some of them are painted. They are, what do you call them? Watercolour circles. Lots of different ones in here. So what I could do is stitch two of them on, like so. So I quite like this brownie colour on there. So if I sew them on like they're big buttons, and then I can do the loopy loop thing. About to punch the holes in these, and it occurred to me that they could probably be a little bit thicker and I'm going to use another circle behind them, so it doesn't matter what colour it is because it's going to be at the back. So I'll use these ones, and then I'll glue them together, I'll trim them. I'll use the 1/8 hole on my crocodile to punch a hole, and then I'm going to use like wool knitting yarn or something like that to sew them on. So I'm just going to take care of this business. So they're done. I just drew a bit of a grid on the back there and it's not square, so they're going to be diamonds. They're going to be up that way. So I'm going to stitch that one on and this one on. I have inked around the edge so that there's no white edge around it. And I'm using this purple yarn. So I'm going to go through from the front because I've tied a big knot in there. I don't know whether it's going to, yeah, it might hold. I'll leave a bit out to tie anyway. Come back out this hole, and then I can tie these ends together. I didn't need the knot. I did not need the knot, but I got knotted anyway. Anyway, let's cut off those tails. Now I'm going to sew the other one on. So it'll be about here. So through the top, leave a tail, through the bottom one, back through the top, over to one of the side ones. Oh, there somewhere. There we go. Over to the right, and then back up through the bottom. Come on, where's that hole? There we go. Tie it off. Okay, now what am I going to use to be my wrappy randy thing? I think I'll use a piece of this. So there I have the base of my snippet roll / belly band, which I can take off. And that will fit any page in this book because they're all exactly the same height. Okay, so that just slips off. Alright, now I can pop the book away for a moment because now I'm going to make my textured flowers. And I found this, it's obviously been tea-dyed by the look of it, some sort of thin cottony type fabric. And I have my favourite flower stamp, and I did practice a couple to make sure it worked on fabric. And I'm going to use some Versamagic Midnight Black ink to stamp with. So these are going to be my flowers that I will stitch onto my belly band. And what I'm going to do before I'm going to stamp the flowers on, right? So I'll be stamping flowers on. Then I'm going to use a piece of iron-on interfacing, apply it to the back, and then I'm going to cut the flowers out and stitch them on. So a little bit of a process, but I think it'll be worth it. I do have these here too. I was thinking they sort of look like flowers. I cut off, I might put one of these on it as well. So if I cut them off, those joiny bits, Okay, so that looks like a flower to me. Yeah, so I tried the stamping on this, which is quite thick fabric, and it worked perfectly. And I'm going to do these stamps and then take this into my room where the ironing board is and attach some iron-on interfacing to give them a bit of stiffness. That's another good one. Okay, so I'll just change stamps, and I've got this one. I'm not sure what's been on it to make it yellow, but it is yellow at the moment. A different stamp. Oh, that's nice and clear. That's a good one. It's a very good one. Very good. Now, I do have this big sunflower. Probably not going to use it, but I thought I might just stamp it anyway. So I'm not going to bother putting it on a plate. Just going to see what happens. Probably will regret not putting it on the plate, but anyway. Let's see. Get a little bit, let's put the ink pad away and I'll go and attach the interfacing. Alrighty, so I ended up putting 2 layers on it because it was a really thin interfacing. So here I have my flowers, so I'm just going to cut them out, and I'm going to cut out even the one that didn't work properly. This one, even though it's got that line through it, and then I'll see how it's going to look on the belly band. This is the design I'm going with, and my intention had been to sew them on with this thread here, and I'm not sure that I want to do that now. I think I might take them to the sewing machine, sew them on there, and maybe even put in a couple of little bits of what have we got here? We've got some cheesecloth, so just a couple of little pieces here and there, just to add a little bit of white in there. Let's see what it looks like. So just, you know, something like that. So I've got this white lace. I could put little bits of that in different places. So it's becoming more and more like a snippet roll. I've got a container of lace scraps. I've even got different coloured stuff in here. So I've got that. There's a heap of pink there. There we go. This is nice. And I've also got a little bit of black flower. It's not a full flower, but it's down in the corner. It's a bit weird, that bit. I've got this lace in here. I think the black looked really nice, and this blue isn't too bad, but I think that blue needs to be near some white. I wonder if more than one of those blue flowers would make them look brighter. Cut another one off. Ooh, got some of these. This is like on a tape. Got a bit off the beaten track, haven't I? Because I started off with these, and now I've got all this other stuff going on. Oh, it's so hot here today and humid. Well, it's probably not so much hot, but so very humid. Everything I put my arm down on comes back up with my arm because it's so hot. Everything, you know, my arm's just sticking to everything. So I'll send it over to my friend in Canada. I'll swap places with you. You can come and do this and see how long you last in the heat. And I'll go over there and roll around in the snow. Sounds like a good exchange to me. What do you reckon about that? I want more of my stamped flowers to show. I think that's what I'm not liking about this. So, because when I take them off, all these other bits and pieces, I really like the way it looks. So I'm thinking these other bits need to go in the background. I'm just going to glue stick down some of these things. How about I get it off the book? Work on the table, it might be easier. So I just put down these little things first, and then I'm going to put my stamped things over the top. Because that's what I wanted to be the star of the show. And whatever shows, shows. And if it doesn't show, well, it doesn't matter. But I do want that to show. Yeah, that's better, isn't it? I agree with myself. It's better. Oops, everything's sticking to my fingers. I'll pop that one upside down here. And this one, oh, okay. Oh, this one can go here. I'm going to put this one on, but I'm going to cut off that other bit. That bit. And then these little things can go in. To another one somewhere. Gone. Disappeared. Oh, maybe we're going to have two. Because I know if I cut another one off, I'll find it. Okay, so this is what I'm going with. And this is what I'm going to take to the sewing machine. No, I'm going to sew it by hand. Maybe this one. I generally don't split my thread because I always end up with a big knot. Might have a go at it today. I've seen a few people demonstrate how to do it. It's a bit like the opposite of spinning yarn, isn't it? Yes. Okay, so now my inky fingers, I went out and I hung some washing on the line before. Didn't think to wash my hands, did I? So now my white sheet, bed sheet, has got ink fingerprints all over it. So yeah, good job. Okay, now how am I going to do this without everything falling off? I should just tack these on first, I reckon. I'm not worrying about the knot showing on the front. The other things are glued on, so they're not going to fall off. And I won't be sewing them on in any great detail. I'm just going to do like a rough running stitch around them, I think. But just at the moment I just want to get them held down so I can handle it a bit better, more easily. That's what I meant. So the back's not going to look very good, but we won't be looking at the back. Okay, so I'm going to just sew them down, put a few more stitches in. They're not going to be sewn down flat. I'm not really worrying about that. But I do think that I will take it to the machine after I finish putting tacking stitches into it and go all around the edge. So I shall see you when that's done. Okay, this is what it looks like on the page. How beautiful does it look? I just love it. I'm so glad I decided to put these on the top and the other bits underneath. So if you can see, all I did was there's only just, you know, the odd stitch holding them in. And I've sewn around the edge with the sewing machine and over that stitching that I hand stitched. I never did find the third flower, the little orangey one, so I don't know where that went to. And yeah, I really like the way it sits on the page. It fits perfectly. So that's the back of it. I took the wool off and put a bit of sari silk on it instead. You can put stuff on in behind this bit of it too. So it's a double-sided removable snippet roll belly band, I guess you'd call it. Really happy with the way that's turned out. So give me a thumbs up, leave a comment, let me know what you think, share the video, hit the subscribe button, all those lovely things. I'll see you for the next day, which is not until the 9th of January, 9th of December, and it's a journaling card and a beloved visitor. Okay, so this one was snippet roll and woven flowers. So I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope it gives you some inspiration. And don't forget the thumbs up. And if you're tempted to give me a thumbs down, just don't worry about it. I'd rather not see them. But thank you to everybody who does show their appreciation. Love you all. Thank you. See you on the 9th of December. Enjoy your crafting. Hugs and cheers from Australia. Hooroo.